We are now in the new year, and if you're trying to get into cybersecurity but aren't exactly sure if being a SOC analyst is what you want to do, well, this video is for you. By the end, you'll have a better understanding of what you could expect as a SOC analyst, so you can ultimately decide whether this path is for you. But there is a disclaimer. I'll be speaking from the perspective at a managed security service provider, aka MSSP. Before we begin, if this is your first time seeing my video, hello, my name is Steven and I have been in the cybersecurity industry for over 8 years now, focusing within the security operations domain. In this channel, you can expect to find videos about career tips, practical lab walkthroughs, and projects that you can tackle to help build up your hands-on skills. My objective is quite simple: help you gain confidence in your technical ability. With that being said, let's start off with what is a SOC analyst. A SOC analyst is an analyst working in a security operations center, aka SOC, and their main responsibilities are to detect, monitor, triage, and respond to potential security incidents. If you're someone who enjoys the investigation side of things, then a SOC analyst could be the right path for you. Because, well, every day is about uncovering the when, what, and how behind every security event. However, there are some pros and cons to this role, and I'll start with the pros. The first one is diverse experience. What I mean about diverse experience is that most of the time while working in a SOC environment, and again, this is especially true if you work in a managed security service provider, you'll have the opportunity to utilize various different tools than you would compared to an in-house SOC or a smaller company. For example, within an MSSP, you may get to utilize, say, Azure Sentinel, Splunk, CrowdStrike, Elastic, and many others, which gives you a chance to gain that experience with those tools, compared to, say, a smaller company who might only be using what's up. The second is career progression. Having experience as a SOC analyst can really help you open up doors to many different positions, like a threat hunter, incident responder, or a detection engineer, just to name a few, if you're good at what you do. The more effort you invest into this role, the more rewarding it really becomes. Your dedication doesn't go unnoticed. It is quite easy to spot those who are solely there for a paycheck. The last pro that I'll mention is the networking opportunities. Working in a SOC provides an excellent opportunity to network as you collaborate with other analysts and learn from one another. Trust me, building strong connections with your peers can really make that job much more enjoyable. And it could also help you down the road if you plan on switching companies or even roles. Now, I'm not gonna lie, many SOC environments are very stressful, which can sometimes diminish the enjoyment of the work. But I'll touch on that shortly. For now, remember that building strong connections and having fun while networking with your teammates can really make a significant difference in your SOC experience. So don't burn bridges, try and help whenever possible, and always share what you learned, because at the end of the day, we are all on the same team. Now let's move on to cons, starting with pay and hours. When it comes to the pay, this is highly dependent on your location, but usually the pay for a junior SOC analyst may not be as high as you might expect. Taking a look at the salary range in Canada, this is between 51K to 69K, where the average is about 59K. When it comes to hours, you are expected to be comfortable working nights and holidays, because hey, a SOC must have 24/7, 365 coverage at all times. And I know many are not as excited when they learn about that. The second con is stressful environment. Like I mentioned previously, many SOC environments are stressful to work in, and this is mainly due to the lack of training and processes. SOCs are very process driven, and if a certain step is undefined or is not clear, then it can cause a lot of headaches, and I'll give you an example. I want you to imagine that there are 50 alerts in your ticket queue, and 10 of those are about to go out of SLA, service level agreements. Now, out of those 10, you have 5 that are high priority. 2 of those 5 are from a recent onboarded client where their documentation is incomplete. So everything just slows down because as a SOC analyst, what are you supposed to do? And if you're thinking, why is a client onboarded with incomplete documentation? Then this thumbs up is for you. Unfortunately, this is the reality of things. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every SOC is like this, but I am confident enough to say that many are. The last and final con is that you become an SLA chaser. Now, I couldn't think of a better word for this, but let me explain. This con does tie back to the second con, which was stressful environment. In an MSSP, clients are provided various levels of SLA. When these SLAs are breached, in other words, when the agreed upon terms aren't met, there are usually penalties. I've seen clients demand credits or discounts or even additional services due to the breached SLAs, and sometimes even threatening to terminate their contract. Since companies prioritize keeping clients satisfied to maintain revenue, the pressure often falls on the SOC to deliver and meet these SLAs. Without proper training and processes in place, this can lead to a culture of SLA chasing, where analysts focus solely on meeting SLAs, even if it means copying other analysts' work. Now imagine the workload increasing as 20 to 30 new clients sign on without addressing the underlying issue. This creates a recipe for disaster, fostering a toxic environment where nothing meaningful gets done. But do remember that, again, I'm not saying that all SOCs are like this, and there are some decent ones out there. However, I would encourage you to ask questions during your interview. Do they tune alerts? If so, how frequently? Is there a process for that? Do they train their analyst? Asking these types of questions will help you better understand their environment. So, is a SOC analyst role right for you? If you love investigating and you thrive in a fast-paced environment and are ready to tackle the pros and cons, then this could be an amazing starting point. If you're looking for a comprehensive way to learn the skills needed to become a SOC analyst, the MyDFIR SOC Analyst course is a great place to start. I've designed it to make learning straightforward, and after completing it, I'm confident that you'll not only build your skills, but you'll also gain the confidence to excel in the field. Plus, you'll also finish the course with impressive projects to showcase on your resume and portfolio. If purchasing a course isn't an option for you right now, don't worry. I got a free alternative. I would encourage you to check out my hands-on lab walkthrough playlist and the project playlist on YouTube. These resources will help you build the confidence in your practical abilities, so you can hit the ground running when you do land your first job as a SOC analyst. Lastly, I am in the middle of creating another 30-day SOC Analyst challenge. So if you're interested, you can sign up for the waitlist down below. That is it for the video, and I do hope that you found that informative. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.